Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Reed's Learning Street. We are here this afternoon to talk to you about mentors and mentors mattering. We have a guest with us this afternoon who works with Detroit All Star Aquatics. He is a young mentor who has a lot of wisdom. I'm going to let him introduce himself and bring him on currently.
How you doing? I'm Rassul Abdur-Rahim, 25 years old, been coaching for the past 5 years.
Excellent. The other young person I'm going to bring on is Mr. Raking Williams.
Hi, my name is King, also known as KingTheSwimmer.
Thank you for introducing yourself this afternoon. Mr. Raking Williams, or my apologies, King the Swimmer. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing good right now. How about yourself?
I'm good, thank you very much. I appreciate you for joining me this afternoon. I appreciate you as well, Coach Rassul, for joining us. We have a few questions. I'm going to let King go first, and then I'll quote unquote piggyback off of his questions.
Okay, so my first question is, how did you get into swimming?
My mom was a swimmer before me. She swam at Northern High School and under Coach Jenkins. And when I was born, she tossed me in the water with Coach Jenkins, and I've been swimming my entire life.
Okay. My second question is, what made you start coaching?
And my coach, Coach Gary Peterson of Detroit Recreation Swim Team, suggested it to me one day because I wasn't swimming like actively, like going to meets or anything. I was just going to practice to try to stay in shape. And he was like, "You should just start coaching." It's like, you're old enough or whatever. I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." So then I did it.
Okay. My next question is there any other sports you've played / coached?
No other sports that I've coached, but I've played soccer, baseball, ran track. I think there's a couple I might be forgetting, but yeah, soccer, baseball, and ran track.
Okay. How many years have you been coaching again?
I've been coaching swimming for 5 years.
My last question is, what's something you want to do in the future?
Um, in the future, like how far into the future?
Mm, 20, 30 years maybe?
Hmm? I never really thought about it. So I'm basically doing all I want to be doing for the rest of my life now, which is coaching, swimming, and blacksmithing, being a blacksmith. Uh, yeah. So that's what I see myself doing in 20, 30, 50 years.
Okay. That's it for me.
That's it. All right.
Okay. Those are some very good questions. I have a few questions as well. Uh, so you said you said you've been coaching for about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Has that been with the same team?
No. So the first, what was it, yeah, three, 3 or 4 years of my coaching was with the Detroit Recreation Swim Team. The head coach there was Gary Peterson, who suggested I started coaching, and I've been coaching going on 2 years now with Detroit All Star Aquatics. Yeah,
Okay, so obviously you like coaching, or you wouldn't be doing it.
yeah, that's
So
true.
I heard King ask you, where would you be in the next 20 years? My question would be, what does your future look like to you in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Uh, in the next 5 years, I would say uh, with my own house and workshop where I'm just more space and more comfortable. But most overall, the same, you know, just a little bit more experienced.
Okay. Okay, so you still plan on working with children or in some form, not children, but coaching in some
Hmm.
form or fashion in the next 5 years. That's a good thing. Okay. What school did you graduate from?
Uh, I graduated from Harper Woods High School, and I went to U of M Flint for about a year, and then went to Wayne County Community College for like 2 years after that. I didn't graduate from college, but I still learned a lot. So,
I did hear you say that you're blacksmithing.
hmm
So is that, I know that's different from you swimming, but is that something that is a big interest of yours?
yeah, yeah.
How'd you get
Swimming
into
and blacksmithing,
blacksmithing?
those are my two biggest interests. Uh,
Swimming and blacksmithing?
hmm
Okay, tell us about it.
well, I got into blacksmithing from my friend in high school. His name is Justin. He showed me a couple videos of this guy who's a blacksmith, and he was making these huge swords and stuff. And I was like, oh my god, that's the coolest thing ever. I got to do that. So I just took over my mom's garage and tried, you know, gradually to get to where I am now, where I'm blacksmithing more regularly.
Wow, so you're a swim coach and you're blacksmithing. So that's like you're able to teach. You're like multifaceted, and you're only 25. That's an accomplishment that needs to be made note of. Okay. So I know that you've been coaching my son personally, King, since he was on your previous team with you, the Detroit swimming team.
Hmm.
How do you see your impact on the youth?
Uh, it's weird seeing like my impact on people, like especially youth and the kids, because they'll come up to me like every day. It's like, oh man, just talking about anything, and it's like it's weird to know that they're so comfortable with me. It's I don't know. I'm not used to it yet.
You're still coming into your notoriety and your popularity.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm glad that you are a part of the swimming atmosphere here in Detroit because, for one, you're young and you gauge a gap where a lot of older swimmers or older individuals don't have that connection that you have with the youth.
Right.
That's a major. That's a major kudos or a good niche that you have. And you're, like I said, you're only 25, and this is what you plan on seeing yourself doing even in another 5 years, which means that you're successful at what you're doing. I commend you on that.
Thank you.
Like the banner says, mentors really matter. And you're our first mentor guest for our mentor series. Have you ever run a triathlon or done anything like that?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of triathlons, around 5 maybe. Yeah, but I was at work one day when I was lifeguarding. Uh, I was bored. I was like, I want to try to do a triathlon. So I put it on my phone and I looked up, where I could see where I could do a triathlon, and there was one happening at Belial, which was like 5 minutes from where I worked in like 2 weeks. So I was like, oh, sweet. So it got me some shoes, some good running shoes, and then I did a triathlon.
Wait, you said 2 weeks?
2 weeks from, yeah, I found out 2 weeks before I did it.
So in 2 weeks, you were able to run a triathlon. What? How young were you when you did this?
Uh, I was, I think, 20, 21 or 22. Well, yeah.
So this is like really recently.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, anybody could run a triathlon, especially if we see you doing it, then multiple children or young people or individuals would be able to run a triathlon because there's plenty of them here in the city for us to participate in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Uh, it, when I was at the event, there was people of all ages there. There was, I think the youngest was around 8 or 10, and the oldest being near like 70 or around 70 years old.
Wow.
So,
So even someone like King could run in a triathlon currently.
oh yeah, especially.
Would you do something like that, King?
Probably yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. 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 So I heard you mention Coach Gary and your mom. Were they some of your big influences when it comes to swimming? Or name us some of them.
Uh, my influences in swimming would be, like my mom, uh, Coach Gary, uh, Coach Jenkins, Coach Jay, um, Coach Aaron, my auntie Marcy, uh, and a bunch more people. It's like an endless list that I can pull from.
So are all of these people, are they in Detroit area or are they somewhere else?
All in the Detroit area. Yeah, all that, and they worked in uh, the recreation department specifically, because that's where I basically grew up with swimming in the recreation department.
Okay, so you pretty much have a swimming family then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or a lot of your family members are swimmers, I should say. That was going to be my next question. How many in your family are swimmers?
Um, most of my cousins are like my yeah, most of my cousins are swimmers. Um, we all grew up on the same swim team. First, we were on Leroy Deuce swim team, which was under Coach Jenkins. Then we moved to Detroit Recreation swim team, and uh, yeah, and that was it. And I started coaching, and my cousin Cassandra, she was the only one who swam in college at Howard, and she had a bunch of records throughout her 4 years at there. So you know,
So you come from a family of notorious swimmers, so to speak. Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Okay. So now that you're a coach and you've been coaching for 5 years now, what exactly is it about coaching that you like the most?
um, it's an excuse to stay or in and around the pool, because I need to stay like within 5 feet of water, like at all times. How I stay hydrated, and uh, being able to interact with the kids, that brings joy to me, like every day. Even when they are so annoying and up my butt just with the most random things, like I still look back at it and it's like, yeah, this is fun. I enjoy it.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I know I'm glad that you are a part of the swimming family here in Detroit because you've given a lot to uh, my son. You are one of the originals who helped him to learn how to swim, which was why we wanted to bring you on and give you some attention and tell you thank you for all that you have done for not only King, but for many youth here in the city of Detroit. And not only in swimming, you also have given them life skills, morals, and values. And that's what Reed's Learning Street is all about, life skills.
Hmm.
And, we just wanted to say thank you and make sure that you got your flowers now and a little bit of time in the limelight. Because we know you like to stay in the background. You don't like to get a lot of face time. So in closing, Mr. King, is there anything you would like to say before we close out?
No, I said everything I wanted to say.
Okay, well, if anyone wanted to reach out to you, they can reach you at KingTheSwimmer 09 on Instagram. Um, Coach Rassul, I do want to say thank you again for joining us. Is there anything that you would like to say in closing? How can anyone reach you if they would like to or get in touch with you?
um, on Instagram, I am Rasul RKAR, all
That's
lowercase. SS
RASSULKAR, the same way it is on the screen. Is there any space or any underscore, just all one word?
Underscore after the Rasul.
Okay. Um, we are Reed's Learning Street, and we're accessible on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. If you would like to get in touch with anyone that we speak with, or if you would like to come on and speak with us as well to represent the community, give us a call, give us a text, a shoot, a message, however you choose to reach us, and we're accessible. The Unschool Guide is also available. We would love to take your questions and bring in, any comments that you would like to have for us. Again, we thank you for joining us. Have a great and blissful day. Islam. Peace.